Hey yo guys, welcome into JUNO'S, welcome into the channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe the video. I really do appreciate it. Manchester United is taking on Newcastle in the Carling Cup. I'm really excited for this one. Newcastle's not an easy team, but at the same time, I do think that Manchester United is not going to go with the team that we regularly go with. And I've been screaming at the top of my lungs for this to happen, for Ten Hag to make some changes. So as we know, in the last Carling Cup game, Manchester United played Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace didn't show up. They just didn't show up at all. But Manchester United played a brilliant game. And unfortunately, I have no idea why, but unfortunately, we have not seen that team again. We have not seen that team again. And Manchester United have been struggling this season, so I don't understand why Ten Hag wouldn't try that again, at least for half an hour, at least for 45 minutes. Why he wouldn't try that midfield again? It baffles me, guys. I've been screaming at the top of my lungs for this midfield, and I, I just the decisions that Erik Ten Hag has made this season has been diabolical. It's been absolutely diabolical. In the City game, I don't want to touch too much on the City game, but he made mistakes himself. Yes, there is injuries. Varane and Regulon, they weren't fully fit for that game, so I totally understand not starting them, because if they could only make it to 60 minutes, you would be forced to make that changes, and that's maybe other tactical changes that you could have made during the game. But in hindsight, you might as well have started them. You might as well have started them. I think they would have done great. Anyway, guys, so we are playing Newcastle. Big game, big game. We're obviously the holders and we obviously want to win, but Newcastle is going to be a stern test. They absolutely slapped up PSG, and they've been doing well in the Premier League. So it's not going to be an easy task. However, I do think Manchester United can come out on the other side. I'm always positive, guys. I'm always positive. I back Erik Ten Hag. I will back him for 4 seasons. I've said it live, or not live, it's a pre-recorded video, but um, I've said it on my Twitter, and I'm saying it on my channel. I'm going to back Ten Hag this season and next season for the minimum. I do think he is the guy. I still think he is the guy. He's making horrible decisions, but I do think he's the guy. Even Ineos and Sir Jim, even they are coming in and saying they're backing him. However, they're saying they are not going to allow him to sign his own players. I have no problem with that. And I don't think anybody should have a problem with that. Klopp doesn't have that at Liverpool. Obviously, you have a director of football, you have a footballing department. The manager basically says who he wants, what kind of profile, what he's looking for. They have a discussion, they're all on the same page, and the football director basically goes to find similar profiles, maybe even better profiles, maybe personalities better, maybe, there's better players out there. It's his job to go do that research with the scouting department and make a decision, for the club, not only for the manager in the moment, but the club moving forward. And this is a big thing that's been missing from Manchester United. Look at Brighton and City. They are the best, especially Brighton. They are the best. What's the word? The way to run a football club. I had like I feel like there was supposed to be a word. Structure. I don't know. Yeah, but the way that Brighton works, it's absolutely how Manchester United should be working. Manchester United just thinks, bring a manager in, throw money at the problem, give him two windows, and everything's going to be right. But that's not how it works, guys. That's not how it works. So if you look at City, for example, City, crazy, man. So City, basically, they were planning for Pep to take over like 3 or 4 seasons before he even arrived. So I'm not sure what the guy's name is now. They got the football director that worked with Pep at Barcelona, and he was obviously working with Pellegrini and who was that other Italian guy? Anyway, they had an Italian coach. Maybe you guys can let me know down in the comments below what his name was. And he was working with them, and basically City tried to get a manager. Obviously, you're not going to get Pep. and you're not going to get the same style of football. But City tried to get in managers that played possession football, so that when Pep came, I don't think people realize this. When Pep came, there were already players there that could play possession football. There were already players there that played possession football. And now you have Erik ten Hag coming to Manchester United, where Manchester United have been playing counter-attacking football. Well, obviously Jose and Oli had their seasons where they weren't, but counter-attacking football, um, for at least, let's say Jose was there for 3 seasons, for at least 2 seasons out of the 3 seasons, or at least a season and a half, Jose Mourinho was playing counter-attacking football. Same with Oli. Oli started with counter-attacking football. He then went to a bit more of a progressive style, and then he had to go back to counter-attacking football. So for the majority, since Sir Alex left, for like seven years since Sir Alex left, Manchester United was playing counter-attacking football. Erik ten Hag comes in and he realizes he cannot play position-based football because the players that Manchester United have, Rashford, Bruno, even Maguire, um, there's players there that can basically either play, they made for counter-attacking football and they need to change the game. Um, and now we're giving Erik ten Hag 2 seasons and we basically saying we want to see your style of play. And with all the injuries and with the whole ownership issue and just the structure of the club for the last decade, I mean, you're never going to get that, guys. You're never going to get that. And that is why I'm backing ten Hag for at least 4 seasons. I mean, you look at Arsenal and what Arteta had to go through. You look at Klopp and what he had to go through at Liverpool. I mean, even Klopp had to go through this at Liverpool, where I think Brendan Rodgers actually played a similar style to Klopp. It's not the same, but it's a similar style. You can go watch Celtic play now. It's a similar style. And even Klopp took 4 seasons. So for us not to give Erik ten Hag at least 3 seasons, at least 4 seasons, I don't know, man. Our club just isn't running the way we can't give managers that time. Our fan base needs to realize this. Anyway, on to Newcastle. I mean, have Newcastle changed their style of play? I mean, they just play a very aggressive style of football. They're very much together. But so kudos to Eddie Howe. But I think Erik ten Hag is trying to change our style of play and also player power. At Newcastle, there's no player power. At Manchester United, there clearly is, man. Even with Erik ten Hag there, you can just sense it. You can just flip and sense it. So my team for the weekend, not the weekend, for tomorrow night, I'm so excited that we're going to see a different team, man. So I think we're going to go Garnacho, Højlund, Pellistri. I think that's going to be the front three. I saw many people say Martial, but I think Højlund is young. I think he can play literally every game. And I think he needs to play. He needs to start scoring. So that's why I think he's going to be playing a lot of football this year. Then you're going to see Mount and Hannibal and Casemiro behind them. Erik ten Hag might throw in Amrabat there, but I think it's going to be Mount, Hannibal, Casemiro. I'm so excited to see Mount and Hannibal on the field, man. Seriously. I've been screaming for it. I do think them and either Casemiro or Amrabat actually makes up our best midfield. I do think another midfield that could potentially be our best midfield is Casemiro with Amrabat and Mount. Amrabat playing in the number 8 and Mount is playing in the 8 with Casemiro. Casemiro as a destroyer, man. I know he's been getting forward this season, but Casemiro as a destroyer, let's be real, guys. I mean, one of the best in the world. Like, I think he's having a slow start, and I honestly think he's going to pick up speed. I just believe that. Last season was very similar. Then you're going to have Reguilon, Maguire, Varane, and Deloitte. I think that's the team of it. And I think Onana's in the play, man. I really do think Onana's in the play. I think that's the team. So let me just read out again. Garnacho, Højlund, Pellistri. Then in the midfield, Mount, Hannibal, Casemiro. And then Reguilon, Maguire, Varane, and Deloitte. I was thinking about putting Aaron Wan-Bissaka in there, but he only started training last week Friday. He's been out for a couple of weeks, so I don't think he's just going to go back in. But I definitely think we'll see Aaron Wan-Bissaka soon, and then we'll get that. Hopefully, we'll see some rotation at right back, and then may the best man win. May the best man win. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, especially what I said about Erik ten Hag and his time. I know many of you don't agree with me, but if you look at other clubs, man, if you look at other clubs, the manager needs time, and if the manager doesn't get time in like City or Brighton, he basically walks into a system where the previous manager was playing a similar system, and Erik ten Hag is not walking into that. So that's all from you guys. Leave a like, smash the subscribe, and in the famous words of Tim the Tat Man, be sure to tell somebody you love them. Peace.